So guys, looking back on last weekend, the opening weekend of the season, you might want to see for yourself. However, despite Norwich's best efforts, I think they will put in this game, I think Liverpool will win 2-0. And my prediction for this one is a 3-1 Man City win. And that is why I have decided to predict a draw. 1-1. I think Watford will take the honours. 3-1. I couldn't have been more wrong about those ones in my entire life. But still, I'll admit that it's only the opening weekend of the season, and yep, anything can happen. But we are into week 2 of the Premier League this season, so hopefully, I can do better than last time. And speaking of week 2, here are my predictions for week 2 of the Premier League this season. So here we go. Arsenal v Burnley. Well, it wasn't really a convincing victory for Arsenal, I have to say, considering their first half performance, but in the second half, they managed to take control of the game, and yep, they got the win which I think they thoroughly deserved. As for Burnley, what a start to the season for them. A very impressive performance against Southampton. Well, let's just say first half wasn't their best, but it took them just over the hour mark to find their rhythm, and therefore, from their first goal, they dominated the game. So, having said that, this is bound to be a very interesting game. So, it would be great to see Arsenal follow up their win at Newcastle with another win here, but if Burnley were to win, it would really come as a surprise to me, coming off the back of their emphatic win against Southampton. However, noting that Arsenal are brilliant to watch when they play at the Emirates, I think Arsenal will win 2-1. Aston Villa v Bournemouth. Well, it didn't really work out for these two last time out, didn't it? Don't get me wrong, I mean, Aston Villa were doing really well until the 73rd minute where Spurs equalised, and then from then on, they completely lost their foothold in the game. But there are some positives to take from that game because they actually managed to keep Tottenham at bay for that long, so I thought Aston Villa played really well. Bournemouth, on the other hand, I thought they were pretty sluggish in their game against Sheffield United, so I think work still needs to be done to improve them. As for the game, I think Villa will take those positives from the Spurs game and come into this game and play like they believe they can win. As for Bournemouth, I think they will improve from their last game and come into this game and go for the win because I think they have a good manager who has the ability to improve them. But first game at Villa Park, there is bound to be some atmosphere there, so I think Villa will win 2-1. Brighton v West Ham. Well, Brighton actually won last time. Just thinking about my prediction for that game, guys. I was never more wrong in my entire life. But quite an impressive way to start the new season, so I think Brighton will come into this game all pumped up, especially at the Amex. So Graham Potter, the new manager, has brought something different to this Brighton team, so let's see if he can keep this momentum going, eh? West Ham, let's be honest, they never really stood a chance against a quality Man City side, so it hasn't really been good for them, but early days, still time for them to improve. I think Brighton will come out on top in this game and deliver another brilliant display because their squad must be full of confidence. I think West Ham will improve, but I don't think it's going to be enough. Speaking of which, I think Brighton will win 3-1. Everton v Watford. I felt Everton did alright against Crystal Palace. The only problem they have is scoring goals, and they wasted quite a few opportunities in that game. So the finishing needs working on. Watford had a really bad day, didn't they? Losing at home, putting in a performance like that. It's a really bad way to start the new season, isn't it? So taking place at Goodison, I think Everton's finishing will improve and they will start scoring goals. But I do think that Watford will improve from their Brighton performance and come into this game and make it difficult for Everton. So I think they will start scoring goals as well. In games like these, you never know which Watford or Everton side you will see, but I think Everton will win this one. It'll be hard fought, but they'll get it. 2-1. Norwich v Newcastle. I thought that Norwich would give Liverpool a hard game, but that certainly didn't happen. It's not like the Norwich we saw from last season, wasn't it? I mean, they had opportunities, Norwich, they just didn't take them. And yet, their defence was leaky on the night. As for Newcastle, they never really handled their game against Arsenal, so another defeat here, it could be a very long, hard season for them. See, Norwich didn't just sit back against Liverpool, they created some opportunities, so I think they will play like that all season. Well, as long as they keep that defence working. So, I think they will do the same against Newcastle. As for Newcastle, I don't think they will pose a threat to Norwich in this game, so I think Norwich will win 1-0. Southampton v Liverpool. Southampton lost their grip in their game against Burnley, which concerns me considering I predicted them to be in a relegation scrap. See, that performance wasn't what they needed, so a big performance in their next game is needed. But against Liverpool, who just thrashed Norwich, and look serious title contenders, highly unlikely for the Saints. So Liverpool had a dream first 45 minutes in their last game, but there has been a few nervy moments in their defence in that game, but I don't think it'll come as a concern to them in this game. So I think Liverpool will play like that again, and I think they will win 3-0. Manchester City v Tottenham. Scoring 5 goals already? Whoa. Looks like a third title in a row is really in their sights. Yet another dominant Man City display, so their season is off to a flyer. And Tottenham were made to work very hard for their win against Aston Villa. It only took them the second half for them to actually take control of the game. So yep, I think they will give Man City a really good and hard game. If they are to get top 4, that is. Still, I don't think it's going to stop Man City, of course. I think Man City will win this game, which I don't think will be comfortable, nor emphatic, but it'll be worth it as long as they win. 2-0. Sheffield United v Crystal Palace. I can only imagine what the atmosphere is going to be like at Bramall Lane, considering it has been 12 years since Sheffield United's last Premier League season. But anyway, there's bound to be a brilliant atmosphere there. See, Sheffield United had a good start to the season, so I think the draw is the least they deserved against Bournemouth. It's convincing enough for me to think that they are capable of winning this one. Scoring goals is still a problem for Crystal Palace. They struggled so against Everton, but their away record is way better than their home record. Now that's something to take notice of. However, I don't think either side will win this game, so I think it'll be a fair result. A 1-1 draw. Chelsea v Leicester. Not sure. I mean, terrible start for Chelsea and for Frank Lampard. Losing like that to Manchester United is just something out of the blue. It wasn't really a 4-0 game. Chelsea played okay, but their defence is leaky and United took full advantage of that. And of course, scoring goals, Chelsea just weren't clinical enough. But still, there are some positives to take for Chelsea, so I think they will get a better result here. See, Leicester struggled to create some clear-cut opportunities against Wolves, even though they are an attacking side. I think they'll do the same against Chelsea. I think Leicester will score, but I still think that Chelsea will win. 2-1. Wolves v Manchester United. Great start to the season for Man United. Well, 4-0 was quite flattering, of course. But for a result like that against Chelsea, they will be pumped up ready for this one. See, Wolves, like Leicester, struggled to create clear-cut opportunities in that game, but they do feel hard done by. I understand their feelings due to that VAR decision, but unfortunately, it is what it is. So this game is going to be really difficult for both sides, although personally, I am interested to see if United can deliver good attacking football. And plus, Wolves are also good at doing that as well. So for my prediction for this one, guys, I think this game will end all square. 2-2. So there you have it, guys. Those are my predictions for week 2 of the Premier League this season. Hopefully, I get something right. Besides, still only week 2, so literally anything can still happen. Early days. So guys, that is actually it for this video, so please make sure you subscribe to the channel if you haven't already, and please turn on those notifications so you don't miss any of my videos. Please leave a like and a comment down below, and I will see you guys next time. Peace!